Character sketch. Elara, age 24. Physical appearance. Often seen with dark circles under her eyes masked by a practiced, professional smile. Her hands are restless, always checking her watch, counting bills, or clutching her phone. Personality. Elara is the architecture of the family. She is hyper-organized, pragmatic, and fiercely protective. She views vulnerability as a luxury she cannot afford. Internal conflict. She feels like a glass vase that has been shattered and glued back together. From a distance, she looks whole, but she is terrified that one small tap will make her crumble. She resents the burden, but hates herself for feeling that resentment. Motivation. To ensure her younger sister Maya finishes university and that her mother doesn't disappear into her grief. The weight of the lotus. The fluorescent lights of the hospital corridor felt like needles against Elara's eyes. In her left hand, she held a stack of medical invoices. In her right, a laptop bag containing a half-finished marketing proposal. Inside room 412, her father was fading. The man who once smelled of sawdust and peppermint now smelled only of antiseptic and ending. Her mother sat by the bed, her spirit seemingly leaking out of her with every shallow breath her husband took. Her younger sister Maya sat in the corner, staring at a textbook she hadn't turned the page of in an hour. "I've settled the insurance claim for the first surgery," Elara whispered, touching her mother's shoulder. Her mother didn't look up. "And Maya, I paid your tuition for the semester. Just focus on your exams." "How?" Maya asked, her voice trembling. "How are you doing all this, Elara?" "I'm fine," Elara said, her voice a steel shudder. "I have to be." The breaking point. A week later, the house felt like a tomb. Her father had been moved to home hospice. Elara's life became a frantic cycle, waking at 5 a.m. to answer work emails, prepping meals for her mother who forgot to eat, coaching Maya through panic attacks, and then sitting by her father's bed until midnight. One evening, after a grueling client call where she was told her performance was distracted, Elara went to the kitchen to find a shattered jar of honey. Her mother stood over it, hands shaking. "I just wanted to make him tea," her mother sobbed. Elara looked at the golden mess on the floor and felt a scream clawing at her throat. She didn't scream. She cleaned it, but as she wiped the floor, her chest felt so tight she thought her ribs might snap. She left the house telling them she was going for a walk. The monk and the rain. She found herself at the gates of a small local Buddhist temple. She wasn't religious, but the silence drew her in. She sat on a stone bench as a light rain began to fall. "The rain does not ask the flowers if they are ready to be wet," a calm voice said. Elara looked up. An elderly monk in saffron robes stood nearby, holding a simple broom. He wasn't looking at her. He was watching the rain. "I'm drowning," Elara blurted out. The words felt like blood from a wound. "I'm holding everything. The money, my sister's future, my mother's heart, my father's death. If I stop for 1 second, they all fall. But I'm already broken inside." The monk Bhante Dharma sat at the end of the bench. He didn't offer a tissue or a platitude. "You are trying to be a dam," he said gently. "A dam holds back the river because it fears the flood. But a dam grows brittle under the pressure. Eventually it cracks." "I have to be strong for them," Elara insisted. "In our teachings," the monk said, "we speak of Anicca, impermanence. You are fighting the change, trying to keep the world exactly as it was before your father fell ill. You are carrying the past and the future like heavy stones in your pockets. No wonder you cannot swim. The lesson of the hand. He picked up a small, jagged stone from the path. Hold this as tightly as you can, he commanded. Elara squeezed the stone until her knuckles turned white and the sharp edges dug into her palm. Does it hurt? He asked. Yes. The stone is not hurting you, the monk said softly. Your attachment to the grip is hurting you. To take care of your family, you do not need to be a wall. You need to be the water. Water flows around the rocks. It accepts the shape of the vessel it is in, yet it is the most powerful force in nature. How do I let go without failing them? She whispered. Let go of the version of Elara who has everything under control. Be the Elara who grieves with them. Share the weight even if they seem fragile. When you hide your brokenness, you deny them the chance to be strong for you. The flowing water Elara returned home. Her father's breathing was heavy. For the first time, she didn't open her laptop. She sat on the floor by her mother's feet and took her hand. Mom, Elara said, her voice finally breaking. I'm scared, and I'm exhausted. I can't do this alone anymore. Her mother looked at her, really looked at her, for the first time in months. A spark of maternal clarity returned to her tired eyes. She pulled Alara's head into her lap. Oh, my brave girl, her mother whispered. You don't have to. In the weeks that followed, the situation didn't get easier. Her father eventually passed away, but the way Elara carried it changed. She allowed Maya to take over the grocery shopping. She allowed herself to cry in front of her mother. She spoke to her boss about a flexible schedule, accepting that her career might grow at a different pace for a season, and that was okay. She learned that being broken wasn't a failure of her spirit, but a natural part of the human tide. Like the lotus, she realized she could grow from the mud of her grief, not by fighting the mud, but by rising through it.